Hey, I'm D. Bob Chick. I'm here with David Bay. We are at the Junior National Championships 2014 edition, David. We are here in Chicago, 700 strong this year.
Yeah, it's a big show. So over 700 competitors. I don't know the exact number, 760 something maybe. I don't know. But nevertheless, a big show. They released the numbers earlier on this week. Not a big surprise. About 70, 75 bodybuilders, 150-ish men's physique guys, over 200 bikini competitors. Only one female bodybuilder, which kind of goes with the current trend for what's going on in female bodybuilding. Handful of figure girls, so men's physique and bikini dominating as far as the numbers here this weekend, though. But there's always going to be some good numbers as far as bodybuilders. 70 is, there's so much talk about the numbers are, kind of dwindling down, and I had told you off camera before, I was looking back the other day, just kind of putzing around, looking back at, all the history of the junior nationals, and before they added all these other divisions, it wasn't like there was 200 bodybuilders here back in the day. There was years where there was 50, 60 bodybuilders here, but it just seemed like more of a bodybuilding event because those other divisions weren't at the show.
Well, and there's some great names down that list, David. I mean, this is a great springboard for a lot of champions. I mean, that can make or break their career, but this is the first step when you get from local to regional to national. I mean, this is truly that middle step to get you there, and we've got some big names that have kind of made their way through to junior nationals.
Yeah, like I said, I went back through, look at the list. I mean, I knew some of the names. Lee Haney won it in 1982. Funny thing, I didn't know Tony Little, the guy who does the
Gazelle,
the gazelle and the ponytail. He won the middleweights, I believe, in 1982. But then Rich Gaspari won it in '83. A lot of pros: Vinny Galante, yourself, champion in '87, Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson, George Farah, Tricky Jackson. More recently, Phil Heath won this show in 2005. Evan Centopani in 2006. So definitely a lot of big names have used this show as a stepping stone to get to their pro qualifier and into the IFBB.
Well, what's interesting, if you look back, and obviously as somebody who competed and won this show back in '87, I've kind of seen it all. What's interesting is over the years, a lot of competitors have gotten nationally qualified. Then they springboard past the juniors into the nationals, and we've both been covering long enough to not to see now. Sometimes that can be a big mistake. This is a great show to get your foot in there, kind of see you are nationally, then make a decision to go to the nationals or to USA. Far too often we see people at the USA national level that quite honestly don't belong there yet.
You can add me to that list. I qualified for nationals when I was 23. Just wanted to skip juniors. Took a year off and jumped into the 2005 USAs. I placed respectably 11th in the supers. But I was backstage. That's the year Phil Heath won it. So I'm backstage pumping up Phil Heath. Marcus Haley was there. Jerome Ferguson, Lionel Brown, Fakhri Mubarak. So it was, when you're sitting there backstage, the reality of I should have stopped at a junior show along the way before I decided to do this sets in pretty fast. So yeah, I think that this is a great show. I think when guys do qualify for nationals, I think this should be the next logical step, and not just qualify. And this is a mistake I made when I was younger, and so I can't hardly rag on the guys too much who are doing it now. But just because you've qualified for nationals doesn't always mean you're ready for a national level show. And I think people talk a lot about these shows being watered down and stuff like that with the competitors, and I think that has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of local and regional level NPC shows that don't have big numbers. You'll see a weight class of only one or two guys, and the guy who rolls in second didn't die, qualifies for nationals and says I want to do it. But but at the top end of the scale, I think you're going to see some really good competitors here this weekend.
Well, and more than just on the competition side, again, going back to ancient history, 27 years ago when I won it, it literally springboarded me in my career. I won the show, then I started getting some hype. Next thing I know, I was on the cover of Muscular Development, which was my first cover, oddly enough. And then I was on the cover of the very first NPC News, which just started that year. So a little bit of bodybuilding trivia for those out there.
Hitting the front of a bicep on the cover, right?
Front lat spread, yeah, close enough though. The girl was hitting a lat spread, but I can see where you got us confused. But seriously though, it was it literally put me on the map. All of a sudden I had some buzz. All of a sudden I had a couple covers. Now this is pre-internet obviously, but still that was the buzz that you got and it created. When I went to my first nationals later in '87, there was buzz. You know, my name was one of the guys talked about. You know, you had a little something behind you there, cover man, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it made people kind of take up and notice you, which is exactly what people at this caliber want. You want to get noticed. You want to kind of make yourself a name and all that kind of thing. And now with social media and stuff, David, it's even easier to kind of get out. But having that title of junior national champion ain't hurting the cause.
No, not at all. And you made a really good point saying it gets you out there. A lot of the judges that we're going to see here at the junior national level competition are also going to be the same judging panel that you see at the USA's or the Nationals at the North Americans. So not only are you getting a chance to get your name out there from a competitive standpoint, I won a big show, but you're also getting your face in front of the judges. They recognize you as being a quality competitor, somebody who's a contender at a national level. So it's for the guys who come here and do well, it's a win here, but it's also a win as far as preparing them for bigger things.
Absolutely. Well, some great numbers, David. I know you've been busy interviewing some of the perennials as we'll see them kind of unfold. And throughout the weekend, of course, we'll be getting some interviews with some of the champs and, of course, the overall champion at the end of the show to see where they kind of stack up and what their future plans are. So continued coverage here in Chicago, of course, all weekend long. Keep stopping back right here at MD. We'll have updates right along. Prejudging starting tomorrow, David, first thing in the morning.
It's 2 o'clock.
Or 2 o'clock, I'm sorry, and then first thing Saturday morning.
9 o'clock.
So they've got it split up over 2 days, which is really nice when you've got over 700 athletes. So stick right here, folks. Me and David will be back throughout the weekend, continuing coverage right here at MD.